Hi, everybody. Welcome to TGCS. My name is Tim Gallagher, and today we are going to be discussing AP Computer Science A Topic 3.5, Methods and How to Write Them. In the second of three videos, we'll develop code to define behaviors of an object through methods written in a class using primitive values and determine the result of calling these methods. Specifically, we'll develop and call accessor methods. Let's get started. Here's our cake class that we started in the last video. We have our three instance variables, candles, diameters, and layers that are attributes of our cake. In this video, we're not going to examine the constructor or the mutator methods. Instead, we're going to focus on writing accessor methods. Let's look at our first one called getCandles. It begins with our access specifier, which is usually public for our accessor methods. The return type, which is int, meaning that this method will return an integer value. The name of the method is getCandles, and the parameter list in this case is empty. So we'll start by writing our method with a set of curly braces. This will be the method body, which is where the code of our method is going to go. So what do we want our method to do? Typically, an accessor method returns information about the object. In this case, we want it to return the number of candles. So we'll write return candles. A return statement will deliver a variable or expression, in this case our instance variable, candles, to wherever this method was invoked from. Notice that the variable or expression that we are returning has to match the return type in the method header. In this example, they are both int values. Let's try another one. Here is the accessor method getLayers, which will return the instance variable layers. Notice that this method has the same type of method header as getCandles, public access specifier, an int return type, and no parameters. This method also utilizes a return statement to return the value of the instance variable to wherever this method was invoked from. Finally, here's one that's a little bit different. This accessor method will return some information about the cake, but not just a simple instance variable. Here, we're going to calculate and return the circumference of the cake. We'll do this by returning math.pi times the diameter. Now let's look at how we can use these accessor methods in context. Here we'll have a main method that's in another class, and that we're going to construct a cake object and use the accessor methods. First, we'll construct a cake object called partyCake, which has 16 candles, a diameter of 8.0, and 3 layers. Next, we're going to call partyCake.getCandles. Now, we're going to put this in a print line statement since getCandles returns a value, and we want to capture the return value somewhere. This calls the getCandles method of our cake class, which will return the candles instance variable of our partyCake object. The value gets returned directly to the place where the method was invoked, which was our print line statement. So 16 is printed on the screen. Next, we'll call the partyCake method getCircumference, which calls our getCircumference method in the cake class. This method multiplies the diameter times math.pi and returns the value, which is now stored in my double variable called around. We then put around into a print line statement, and the circumference of the cake is displayed on the screen. And that's how we can use the accessor methods that we wrote for the cake class. So in this video, we developed code to define the behaviors of an object through methods that return values and attributes of our object. These methods are called accessor methods, and we demonstrated how we use these methods to retrieve our object's attributes. So that's it for this video. Thanks for joining us here today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time. Take care.